Hey guys, welcome to the Trophy Life podcast. I'm your host, Tara Smith. From beauty to wellness, wife life, motherhood, and everything feminine in between, the Trophy Life podcast is a place where you can feel inspired and empowered and ultimately create the life that you desire and deserve. It's hot to romanticize your life, so grab a mocktail or your favorite cozy beverage and let's get into it. Hello, you guys. Welcome to today's episode. I am really excited for today's episode, and as you can see by the title, we have some very exciting news. But before we get into everything, I am going to say that I didn't really plan out today's episode on purpose because I wanted it to just be a conversation, we're just hanging out, we're just chatting, we're just having some girl talk. So the first thing that I always have like a little layout in my phone. We're going to just chat about a little life update, if you will. So, a lot of you guys know about 3 weeks ago, I had a miscarriage, which honestly, I feel like my brain is it's like now I'm like in the point where I'm like, wait, was I actually really pregnant? It doesn't feel real. And I'm sure that's just like a part of everything. But that's how I've been feeling because it's really crazy. And I've honestly been doing really good. There are like moments in time where I am, I cry or I'm just feeling all the things. And it's crazy because not one day has gone by where I haven't thought about my baby and everything that I experienced while I was pregnant, and then also everything I experienced while I was miscarrying. And it's such a whirlwind of emotions that the only thing I've noticed that really helps is connecting with other women. And I shared my reaction to finding out that I was pregnant on an Instagram reel. And then I also shared just like the after of everything. And I was looking through photos on my phone last night of other content that I had like while I was pregnant that I haven't shared. And maybe I'll share those clips at some point, but on the reel that I posted, there's just the amount of women who are like, I also miscarried like basically the same week that I did, shortly before, shortly after, or just in general, is so crazy. It's so crazy to me how common it is. Like something that's so heart-wrenching and miserable and really physically tolling to go through, emotionally tolling, like all these things. Like you get all of your hopes up and you're so excited about something, and then in a split second everything just changes, and it's such a weird thing to experience. But at the same time, it's also brought me so much perspective that you just can't understand or go through unless you go through something like that. And last night I shared this on my Instagram story last night, but I was printing out labels for the Trophy Life community members who are getting a little trophy care kit, which if you didn't see, I posted on the Trophy Life Club Instagram, and which is a private community just for the girls. So if you're a boy, sorry, it's just for the girls, but it's on Instagram, just at Trophy Life Club. And I posted around it was kind of after I was miscarrying, and it was I think 2 days or maybe a day before Christmas, I can't remember, but I was just like, I need something to cheer me up, and I wanted to send out 10 big packages of makeup and PR to a bunch of the Trophy Life Club community members. So if you're not in the community, definitely join. I also send out a package every month to someone just because I love it. It's like my favorite thing ever. And so I was packaging those up last night, and I had saved the printing, the printer labels or whatever, or the packaging labels on my phone. And I was looking for them, and I was like, oh, there are my files. So I went to the files on my phone, and the first thing that popped up was all of my ultrasound photos and then my ultrasound video. And I hadn't actually looked at any of them since basically the day that I got the ultrasound. And so I clicked on the ultrasound video and I just freaking lost it. I was like, because you see the heartbeat, literally, you see the heartbeat pumping, you see your baby moving. It's so crazy. And then I'm just like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this wasn't even a month ago. Like, this was my reality 4 weeks ago. Exactly. It was almost not even 4 weeks ago. So, 3.5 or whatever. And I'm just like, that's crazy. Actually, it actually might have been 1 month ago tomorrow. Let me actually look. I think it was. Oh no, it was December 10th and it's January 4th today. But almost a month. Anyways, it was just so crazy. And I was like, it was weird because I obviously wasn't planning on, like, I didn't seek out looking at that, but it just happened. And that's when it's always something. Sometimes someone will say something to me and they'll be like, I'm so sorry about what happened. Sometimes I cry. Most of the times I don't, because I'm just, I feel like I'm not not that I don't cry, but I feel like everyone just processes different emotions differently. And it's normally people that I don't really know that it makes me cry, which is interesting. Anyways, so that was a whole thing. And I'm like, man, there might just, I kind of last night was like, I don't really know if this is something I'll ever 100% like heal from. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's a loss. And it's just so hard to describe it. And anyways, so that's kind of the update with that basically the emotional side of things and how I've been doing. But I went into my doctor's appointment on Monday this week it was the 31st, so it was Tuesday. And I was like, no, I'm, no more bleeding anymore, which also has been really nice to get a break from that, because if you've had a miscarriage, it is so intense. Like, physically, your body is just going through a lot. And the fact that I was going through all of that during Christmas, where I'm like doing all these things and I'm going to all these places, like when I think about that now, I'm like literally the self I was 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I have so much empathy for her, because it's so much already. And all I wanted to do was be in bed. And oh my gosh, I was so tired all the time. And like, I could just keep sleeping and sleeping, because your body's just repairing itself. It's literally building up your uterine lining, again, there's so much going on. And when I went into my doctor's appointment, I was telling her some things. So I will tell you guys this, because I'm honestly I love you guys and I love sharing my experiences and everything that I go through. And if I ever don't want to share something, I won't. I've been on the internet long enough that, like, you just kind of learn these things. But I was talking to my birth mom, and she was like, oh yeah, my birth mom, because my birth mom was also adopted, in Iran. My birth mom was born in Iran, and her birth mom died giving birth to her from basically bleeding out, like hemorrhaging to death is what my birth mom said it was. And I have to keep in mind, like, a few things, that she was a lot older, no health care, it's not the same standards that you have in the US. And she was also older. And I think my birth mom, she had a lot of siblings, so she could have been like the 6th or 7th kid. Anyways, so I want to get some genetic testing just to make sure that my blood clots, right and good and everything, because I asked her, I was like, how big was my subchorionic hemorrhage that I had? I don't know if it's hematoma or hemorrhage. I honestly can't remember what she told me. So I think they mean the same thing. Anyways, it's basically just where you have bleeding happening around the placenta and the baby's sac. So she was like, it wasn't super big, but it wasn't small. So basically she was saying, like, it was average, like it wasn't not concerning. So as soon as she says that, I'm like, oh my gosh, so you're telling me that, like, my miscarriage could have, because you don't actually know what causes it, which I feel like it's so hard to not know answers to something that's the most important thing you'll ever experience in your life. But there's a chance that could have caused the miscarriage. There's also a chance that my thyroid levels could have caused my miscarriage. So I told my midwife, I was like, hey, just so you know, I called in the day I found out I was pregnant, and I said that I have Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, and I should probably come in and get my levels checked. And I was told by the nurse, no, we don't do that until you're 8 weeks. And my midwife looked at me. Okay, so I showed her my blood work. I showed her, I said, this is my blood work. I had it done last June. And she literally looked at me like this. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're not, her eyes were very wide, and she was like, immediately she goes, I would have had you come in and we would have immediately started you on thyroid medication. And I definitely am someone who likes to be holistic in every aspect. I've never taken thyroid medication and I have healed my thyroid a lot. But when you're pregnant, your levels and your hormones, they shift a lot and they can get elevated. And so there's also a chance that could have caused the miscarriage for me, which is very frustrating because the same day that I called my doctor's office and I was asking them about this, they told me no. And so I called 5 other places. I was calling fertility doctors and they were like, sorry, we don't take pregnant patients, even though they have like hormone specialists. They have endocrinologists that are specifically really, really great with fertility. And then I was calling a bunch of different offices and they were like, sorry, no, we can't help you. And I was just like, okay, well, I felt like I was just like, they're all saying this 8-week thing. So I was like, I'll just roll with it. And then, I did more research and I was on ChatGPT, which thank goodness for chat, because honestly, chat has helped me a lot in being an advocate for myself. Maybe in some ways it hasn't been so great because then I get a little bit more of a hypochondriac reaction to some things. However, I now know that I was right, which is so crazy, but it's also not crazy because I just feel like women's intuition gets ignored a lot in typical medicine nowadays, and I don't know why that is. I really wish that it wasn't like that. But essentially she was saying, yeah, you should have come in the second we knew that you were pregnant because and I told them that I have Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism, which now just goes to show that not all nurses, which again, a nurse and the midwife are not the same thing, but most nurses have no idea about thyroid stuff. So if you are listening to this and you have Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, or hyperthyroidism, anything hormone related that can be off, please be your own advocate. Like, seriously, learn from my mistake and go in to demand an appointment. Like, just even if you have to pay a little bit more, you'll figure it out. I promise you. Oh my gosh, I just wish I would have done that so bad because, who knows? It's hard to not be like, oh, maybe I still could have been pregnant, but your thyroid affects so much of the baby's fetal development, the brain development. Sorry, excuse me. I choked up on air. On their brain development, specifically in the first trimester. It's really, really vital to have good thyroid levels. So, at least I'm learning. And I hope you can learn from this again because it was just a whole thing. And I think that's one thing I've learned really through this whole process is to just be my own advocate. And I would say the same thing for you. With your own health, no one cares as much as you do. Literally no one, maybe your spouse. But besides that, no one's going to put in the work and advocate for yourself like you would. So I'm going to do some genetic testing. And another thing that she said that I'll be doing the next time I get pregnant is start taking baby aspirin immediately. And I wish, I didn't ask her this, but I wish I would have. I should have said, why didn't they have me take baby aspirin as soon as they saw the subchorionic and knew it wasn't tiny? Because baby aspirin would help that to not even happen, or it could help it go away. And I can't remember if I said this in my miscarriage episode, the one I explained everything, because that was so fresh after, and I don't want to re-listen to that episode, so sorry if you already heard this, but as soon as I left that ultrasound, I started miscarrying, which is really crazy. And sometimes I'm like, it could have just been a weird coincidence, but my ultrasound was hurting. Like when she was pushing on my stomach or my pelvic area, it was hurting, it was painful. And I'm like, did the subchorionic pop? Literally from her, and it was on my abdomen. So there's just so many things that have been going through my brain, and I've just had to, at this point, be like, Heavenly Father knows. He already knew that everything was going to happen that happened. He already knows all this stuff. And it's always been a part of my journey. He's always known that. And so for me, that is literally the one thing that brings me comfort and honestly keeps me from going a little crazy, maybe, because just from doing so much research, like you really can just start to like blame yourself. And I feel like that's also the hardest thing is like, one thing I've noticed is that it's so hard to not blame yourself in a situation like this. Because like, how can you not? Like, it's like, well, I was the vessel for my baby, so it makes sense that it'd be my fault. Anyways, don't feel like that if you've experienced something like this. And I think that that's a very normal thing to think because so many women I've talked to, they've said very similar things that I said on how I was feeling emotionally and, you know, all that type of stuff. So anyways, that's kind of how I'm doing in that area. I'm really excited I'm actually going to start thyroid medication. I'm trying to find a good endocrinologist that I really like. I'm just like, I'll do anything, honestly. And I've done so much work and I'm really proud of myself for doing everything I have holistically. And honestly, I think that the main thing that's made my thyroid worse is chronic stress. But the problem is when your thyroid levels aren't like fully there, it can be, you're a little bit more prone to being maybe anxious. At least for me, it's being anxious. Some people it can be like depression. And so it's like this weird catch-22 where you're like, it's just, you know, I think I could fully heal my levels to get them like perfect, but I think it would take probably like another 2 years. And I don't want to wait that long to get pregnant again. So I'm going to go in again and get more blood work. I've had my blood drawn 7 times in the past 3 weeks. And then I also got an IV. And I used to be so scared of needles. And now I literally could care less. Like, I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. But I'm just like, give them my arm. I just look away and I smell the little alcohol pad. And I'm just like, do what you got to do. Because at this point, it's so crazy. Like how things like that, you just mature, I guess you could say. But yeah, that's pretty much the health update. Also, it's crazy because now all my clothes fit me again, which is really exciting. I hadn't really had an appetite for, I don't know, a while, to be honest. So, which I'm sure that's normal. Again, not judging myself, not trying to come across as like being unhealthy, but it just is what it is. And my guess is that it's just, again, hormone related. But yeah, the next update is going to be very, very exciting because, okay, let me preface it by saying this. So ever since I found out I was pregnant, I was always telling Nova, you're going to be a big sister, you're getting a sibling, like all these things, because Nova is the most social dog. Ever since she was 7 weeks old, I've taken her to the dog park. She's just always been around other people, other dogs, and she loves it. She loves meeting all of the puppy friends. So I was obviously very excited, and Colby and I have actually talked about getting a second dog for, I don't know, probably 2 years, like a really long time. And there's always been a specific breed that I've been obsessed with. Even before I actually got Nova, there's actually a kind of like general family, I guess you could say, of a dog types that Colby and I both just love. And that is Spitz family dogs, which are American Akitas, Japanese Akitas, Shiba Inus, Shikokus, Hokkaidos. Very cool dogs. Like, just look them up. They're beautiful. I'm obsessed with them. And specifically, Colby and I have always wanted I've always wanted a Japanese Akita. Colby's always wanted an American Akita. And I've always wanted a Shiba Inu. Colby loves Shiba Inus too, but he just thinks Akitas are like so sick. They're literally like, they're basically similar to, honestly, Nova kind of looks like a Japanese mixed with an American Akita. She's a Siberian Husky mixed with a German Shepherd. But we are adding a Shiba Inu to our family, and I'm so freaking excited because she's the cutest girl ever in the world. I actually met her for the first time on Tuesday when we were driving down to St. George. Coleman and I go down. We like to go on a trip sometime in January to just plan out our new year, because we love, even like a staycation, like sometimes we'll just go somewhere in the Salt Lake Valley or something, or last year we went to Park City. This year we went to St. George, and it is just so fun to get away. And we rented a house that had a hot tub, which was really nice because we went hot tubbing every night. Nova came with us, and so we got to meet the dog on the way down, and Nova also met the puppy on the way down. Nova's just met so many dogs that she just like, not that she didn't care, but she was just like, okay, mom, another friend. Cool. Like, love it. But I was like, probably like 2 weeks ago, I started like thinking, I was like, maybe I just want to add another dog to our family right now. And it can be something that's honestly like, it's perfect timing, because I kind of like put it off once I got pregnant, and I was like, I don't want to worry about that, because I was so sick when I was pregnant too. And so I was like, wait, right now would be the perfect time, because I probably won't be pregnant for a while. And so we can get the puppy, get it trained, get out of the puppy phase, all those type of things. So we were looking initially at adopting it was a Shiba mixed with, oh shoot, it might have been a Hokkaido. I can't remember, but it was in a shelter in California, and the puppy was like 2 years old, or I guess it's not a puppy. But shelters are really, really strict about the families that they go to, and they didn't really love having a dog being adopted from out of state, which I totally get. And then I was looking, and I couldn't find any Shibas in like shelters locally to me. So I was on KSL, which is just like a local listing thing, and I found a cute little, I think she's 15 weeks old, a little girl, and she's so cute, and I'm just so obsessed with her. And so we're gonna adopt her, and I'm so excited. And I'm gonna go pick her up on, let's see what day it is. Today's the 4th. So actually, I think I'm picking her up. Yeah. Okay, wait. I picked her up the day before you're listening to this. So I'm really excited. I'm picking her up on the 6th, and I just can't wait. I ordered all the stuff. I wanted to meet her before like committing, and she's such a sweetheart. She was just giving me so many kisses, and I'm obsessed with Shibas. They're kind of similar to cats, honestly. Like, they don't really bark. They're really quiet. Nova's also like that. Like, Nova literally acts like a cat. And I'm just so excited for Nova to have a sibling. And I'm just so excited to have 2 dogs. I grew up having 2 dogs, and I get at least it was like at least a few years until my other dog passed. But I'm really excited because they're like somewhat, I guess they're not super close in age, but we'll see. Her birthday is also the 21st night of September, which is so fun because that's my sister-in-law's birthday, and Nova was born on my best friend Jordan's birthday. So it's kind of cute. I didn't know that until I asked them. I was like, oh, that's cute. And we do have a name for her. I'll share that on my Instagram. So if you want to go over to my Instagram, I'll share that. And actually, you know what? I'll just tell you here, even though if you're going to want to see her. So you're going to go over to Instagram. So Nova's name, Colby and I are obsessed with space names, right? And we were like, that'd be so cute if they both had like a space meaning, and we could kind of keep this theme going. And we have a boy name for a dog that we're obsessed with. And it's actually the name of my friend Amber's cat. And we've had this dog name for, I think, since 2020. And it's Cloud. I'm obsessed with the name Cloud for a boy dog, like so freaking cute. Specifically, I want to get a white Japanese Akita male and then name him Cloud. Anyways, but we decided to go with Luna because Luna obviously means moon. Everybody knows that. And Nova means star. So it's like the star and the moon. You guys, I'm just so obsessed. I was like going back and forth between so many names. Like, I loved the name Sky as well. But I was like, obviously the sky and the stars is so cute, right? Like that's also so freaking adorable. And then SKYE, like with a little E at the end. But I was like, Luna and Nova is like, that just sounds so good together. And I think it's like the cutest puppy name ever. And she just looks like a Luna. She's like I think she's a red sesame Shiba. no, she actually might be like a red Shiba with like some white coloring. Her mom is a white Shiba and her mom is a red sesame Shiba, I think. Anyways, but I'm really excited because I got them last night. I was on Etsy and I was ordering. Nova needs a new collar because her collar, she's had it since 2021 for Christmas of 2021, and it is so hammered. Like it is so, she's run that thing into the ground. And I got it on Etsy and it's my favorite Etsy shop. So I ordered them both new collars. And then, this is the best part, Colby had the cutest idea ever. He's like, you should get a star and a moon charm for each of their collars and then put it on them and then they give me matching. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, that is the cutest idea literally ever. Colby always comes up with cute ideas. He also thought of the name Nova and he thought of Luna. He's so good at naming. And I think most of our kid names that we have also he came up with. So anyways, he's a good namer. But I ordered them last night. It's so cute. This might be funny and weird to some people, but I'm obsessed with it. I love mixing metals. So I love like mixing gold and silver. So I got them both gold collars, or the hardware is gold and then the like part around their neck is like a cream velvet color. It's super cute. It's basically just like off-white. It's not like super beige. And then the gold hardware. And then we're going to have the little silver charms on it too. So the collars say their name and then the charm will just hang down and I'm just, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So those should get here probably like the end of the month. So I had to order her like a cute little, collar from Amazon. Whoa, the girl is tired. Let's see, actually, I want to check my Oura ring. My Oura ring's charging right now, but I want to check it to see how I slept last night. Because I want to see how much REM sleep I got. Anyways, that's a really fun life update that I'm really excited about. I ordered her a puppy playpen. I didn't kennel train Nova, and honestly, I did not know anything about puppies and like how to train them. The amount of TikToks and YouTube videos I have watched is insane. And also TikTok was like not a thing when I got Nova to just like watch, training videos and stuff. So I've learned so much about how to train her. And honestly, I think that she will really, really thrive in the system that I have set up. So I have a little puppy playpen. I'm going to put it in our living room, kitchen kind of area. And so she'll have toys in there. She'll have a little bed in there. I got her this cute little chocolate brown donut bed. It's so cute. And then I'll put her kennel upstairs in our room. Nova sleeps on our bed. She's going to sleep on our bed eventually, but until she's like old enough where she can hold her bladder through the night, I just don't really want puppy pee all over my bed. I did that with Nova and it just wasn't really the vibe. And so I'm really excited. I also love that like she's been able to be with her mom for longer because I got Nova at 7 weeks and I feel like Nova has anxiety because of that. It's not actually funny, but it's sad. But it's just like, it's also like kind of cute because I'm like, you're just such a baby. And she's just like kind of an anxious girly. So she didn't do well in a kennel at all. But now, what I know now, I'm like, I totally could have trained her to love her kennel. So I'm going to do things like feeding her in her kennel. I might feed her in her playpen too. I'm going to just kind of see how she does with the kennel. And if she loves it, then I'll just keep putting treats in there and stuff. I got some little like beef liver treats for her that are going to be like little training treats that I'll use to train her. But anyways, I'm very excited. And I think that this little puppy is going to bring so much joy to both Nova and I, and obviously Colby as well. Colby's just down. He's like, let's do it. I'm like, heck yeah. So anyways, I'm very excited and I'm going to take her kennel with me to go pick her up because I wish I could hold her all the way home while I'm driving, but then I'm like, that's like so dangerous. I probably should not do that because I have to drive kind of far. If it was like close, then I'd be like, okay. But she's also like, she's pretty small, which is like, it's so weird because Shibas are, Nova's like a 60-pound dog. She fluctuates from like 55 pounds to 60. And Shibas are anywhere from 15 pounds to like 20. So it's such a big difference from what I'm used to. And honestly, besides Shibas, I would not consider getting any dog that wasn't like a medium-sized dog because I just love the size of Nova, and I think she's like the perfect size. And I'm sure I'll be saying the same thing about Luna too. But I'm just so excited. I also was like so hesitant on her name for some reason, but now that I'm saying it, I'm like, it just rolls off the tongue. It feels right. And when I was looking at all the dog collars and stuff on Etsy, I was just on Etsy for like an hour last night. I stayed up so late looking for dog stuff. And I was like, everything said Luna on it. I was like, I didn't know Luna was such like a popular dog name, but it makes sense. I feel like it's like the cutest puppy name because it's kind of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? Not like futuristic, but it's in like, you know, it's like a fictional character's name, kind of like Nova. But I guess Nova you could argue is like can be used for a human, but I feel like both of them are, you know, a little bit more fictional, which I think it's really fun to have a dog name that's like that. So, anyways, there's some fun life updates for you for today's episode. I am really excited for the next episode on Thursday because we're going to be talking about romanticizing your life. And I'm really excited about that because it's something I'm so passionate about. It's just a fun, girly, chill episode. So, anyways, I hope you guys have an incredible week. I hope you had a great New Year's or New Year's week, I guess I should say. And I will see you in the next one. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. If you enjoyed it, make sure to join the Trophy Life Club. It's a free community for the girls by yours truly, and it's on Instagram. It's just at Trophy Life Club. You can also follow me at Tara Kelly Smith on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you have an extra minute, I would also love and super appreciate if you would review the podcast. This will just help us reach more women who could use a little TLC, aka Trophy Life Club, in their life. So I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.